Hi there, my name's Alana, and today you will not be seeing my face, which is great because I can be warm and cozy in my PJs. Today we are going to be doing a brush declutter. Really quickly, if you like my nails today, I am wearing OPI Let's Be Friends. It is probably my favorite nail polish of all time. Okay, so I have a ton of brushes here, and I'm going to start by sorting them by brand. Because for the most part, my brush preferences tend to kind of go by brand. So while I'm sorting these out, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a backgrounder. So I have been working on decluttering my brushes over the last 2 years, to be honest. This is really the accumulation of 2 years of kind of editing through my brushes and focusing on the ones that I love, and then adding on a few pieces to my collection, mostly natural hair. Generally speaking, the brushes in this pile are less expensive, they tend to be synthetic, and they tend to be brushes that, while they're perfectly fine, as I've been going through this process of upgrading my makeup, I've also been going through a process of upgrading my makeup brushes. I've really discovered over the last year or two that, you know what, you can have the nicest makeup products, but if you don't have good brushes that you love and that work for you, it's not going to be a joy to apply your makeup. So I will be giving some of these brushes to friends. Some of them I will wash and sell on my Poshmark, and others I will see if there is a charitable home from them. I know that one of my friends has already asked for some for her 15-month-old daughter to play with, so I have some in mind for her. So anyways, let's do this. Okay, so I have all of my brushes sorted. We have available at Sephora, Wet n Wild, Royal and Landical / MOTD. We've got, I'm going to say, good drugstore brushes, julep brushes, a big handful of Luxie brushes, and then in here we have random brushes. So I think I'm going to start with some of these more curated piles. Okay, so here we have my Wet n Wild brushes. And yes, I know that they need to be cleaned, but I think I'm going to offer these up to my friend for her daughter. I don't mind Wet n Wild brushes. I'll say this across the board. There aren't really any brushes in this pile that I hate. What I hate is that they take up basically an entire drawer in my 9-drawer Alex, and they don't really do anything for me. I've narrowed it down to sort of the 2 coffee cups worth of brushes that I love. So there will be some keeping here. I'll let you know if there's a brush I particularly hate, but for the most part, my issue with these brushes is just that they are synthetic, and I don't mind synthetic for cream products, but I really don't like it for powders. So this is my garbage bin, so I'm not going to use that, but I'm going to clean all of these up and give these to my friend's daughter. I think that these are super affordable, they're soft, they're pretty, and her daughter is just really interested in sort of mimicking her mom and kind of, you know, playing with makeup, so I'd like to just give her just a nice little pile to play with. So these are going to my little baby bestie. So these are being decluttered. That was an easy start. Next up, oh, and what are we going to put the keeping brushes in? I guess we will use this bin for brushes that we're keeping. Okay, so next up I have my julep brushes. I used to be really into these. Off the bat, I'll say that I wouldn't really use their eye brushes again because, as mentioned, I definitely prefer a natural hair. So those are out. In fact, I'd say of all the julep brushes, all I'm really interested in keeping, and I think to start I'm going to keep both, is the blush brush, because I've gotten more and more into cream and liquid blushes lately, and so I think that these would be really good for that. Everything else, to be perfectly honest, is going in the declutter pile. So far we are keeping 2. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we've gotten rid of 13 Wet n Wild brushes, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 julep brushes. Let's count how many times I say blushes instead of brushes. I think these ones, I'm going to clean them up and try to sell them online because they were pretty expensive, and I can generally pass them off as a set. So I'll post those on my Poshmark. Okay, so next up we have what I'm going to call my good drugstore brushes. Off the bat, I'll say I really, really enjoy this Real Technique powder brush. That's the second time I've said blush instead of brush. I'm going to keep this one. It's well loved. I've had it for a long time. Real Technique brushes are fantastic. And I always like having a few affordable brushes that I can recommend. I'm also, what am I going to do with this one? This powder brush. I'm going to think about that for a minute. I am going to keep this foundation brush. I'm going to have to clean it up for sure, but this is a nice one. I am going to rehome this straight brush because I just don't know how I'd use it. So I'll maybe offer that one up to friends. I'm going to keep, still fuzzies on my floor. I'm going to keep this e.l.f. brush. This highlighting brush is well recommended and could be good for travel. This little e.l.f. eyeshadow brush honestly has become deformed. So that one's being decluttered. This flower brush we will keep. And this Real Techniques little tiny, I don't even know what this is. I don't really use brushes this small, so we'll rehome that one as well. So 3 down. You know what? I think for now we're going to keep this one, but we might revisit. I think I'm doing a pretty good job at my declutter so far. So, you know, it's not about getting rid of everything. It's just about making some space in my collection. Okay, so next up, ooh, I'm just going to remove these. These don't belong in this pile. Well, they were separate piles. They just kind of got merged. Okay, so next up we have this big pile, mostly of sort of Royal and Lanicle and MOTD brushes. So off the bat, I'm going to be decluttering. I'm going to call these the toothbrushes. You guys remember these? These were a huge trend as a way to apply your foundation. And I have to be honest, I don't use these at all and they just take up space. So I think I'm going to also try to sell these online as a set. So I will declutter those 4. Let's see what else we've got going on in here. Oh, that one's in the wrong pile. Okay, so off the bat, first of all, these ones are really cute. They're also small and good for travel. So I will keep those. This brush here, I don't think I'd really use, so we will declutter that one. Let's see if I can rehome these eye brushes together. As I mentioned, I don't really like synthetic brushes for my eyes. This is another set that I've never really used or really been drawn to. I don't really use a brush shape like this one. So these ones we're also going to try to rehome together. I really do like the Royal and Lanicle complexion brush, so we're going to keep that one. Okay, we're making some good progress. I don't enjoy the flat top foundation, so we will rehome that one. I do, however, like this mini powder brush. Oh, but you know what? It's the same brush. It's just this one's pink and this one's mermaid. Yeah, okay. So this one, let's hold on to it for now, but we might revisit that. Okay, next up we have these really fun unicorn horn brushes. And you know what? These are a lot of fun. I love having them in my collection. I think they are super, super cute. But I have a cousin who is a little over 10 and she's really into makeup. And I think that she would get a lot of enjoyment out of these. So we're going to give those to my cousin. Okay, I'm going to keep this MODA brush. I like that one. I don't use fan brushes, so that one's an easy to get rid of. I also don't use brushes shaped like this. You know what? I'm going to keep this eye shader brush. I do like a good... Ooh, actually, I like a good eye shader, and I like a super crease like this for concealer. So maybe I'll just put these in a less generous mood. Okay. I think we're going to rehome these pink ones. These just aren't really shapes I reach for. I don't really reach for a... like a mini contour style brush. I don't really do detailed work like that. And again, yeah, I don't really use shapes like these. So we'll put those in the rehoming pile along with these white ones. I I really like the brushes I'm keeping, but okay, let's see. I do actually like this shader brush, so we're gonna keep that one. Yeah, you know what? I don't really use any of these kind of shapes. So we've got a whole bunch of really tiny eye brushes, some tiny lip brushes, and yeah, I don't really use those. Okay, so that's good. So this is so far all we're keeping. This is exciting. Okay, so next up we have a set of brushes from Tarte. These are a lot of fun because they have these like ridiculous mermaid tails. So I think I'm going to sell these on my Poshmark. I bought these one holiday a couple of years ago. Okay, so the next one is really easy, and that is going to be my Luxie brush collection. I don't use fan brushes. You know what, let's just do a really quick, I don't think I'm actually going to keep any of these. Yeah, I'm just going to sell all of these on Poshmark. Most of these I've collected, as they like fall out of my hand, most of these I've collected at like Generation Beauty and through Ipsy. And they had a time and a place in my collection, and now is not that time or place. Okay, this is the one that intimidates me the most. This is just the random pile of crap. Okay, I'm gonna put my brushes that I want to sell. And like I will clean them and disinfect them, but I want to put those in here so I can clean those tonight. Okay. This pile, it really intimidates me because there's just so much in here. Okay. We're going to do keeping and getting rid of. We're just going to do it really quick. I know what I like. Okay, that's a loose, that was like a random subscription box that doesn't exist anymore. I think these are Sonia Kashuk. Nope. So just so you guys know, really what I'm going for really quickly in this is, I'm not really keeping any brush shapes that I don't use, that I'm not obsessed with. I'm going to hold on to that Tweezerman one though. Yeah, if I'm not obsessed with it, it doesn't get to stay. This crown brush here feels like sandpaper on my face. I do like the Tweezerman brushes. I'll keep the Pixie, I think. Don't like that one. I'll keep, that's actually a good little brow brush. Keep the NYX one for reference. I like the idea of this brush. But I find this part is too chunky for the size of the brush, and it would just take up too much space in a jar. Like, this base of the brush could be so much smaller, so it's not worth the space it takes up. This brush came in a Forever 21 set I got at the checkout when I was in high school, so for that reason alone it can stay. Okay, so we are getting, let's use this. We are getting rid of all of these, which is exciting. I don't even know how many, are there. We'll count them later. And we are keeping this little pile here. Okay, so next, I think as last, we just have our high-end brushes. Well, high-end, I say that loosely. This means that they're available at Sephora. Thought that was kind of a good way to sort everything. Other than this e.l.f. brush, yeah, this one can go. I'm probably honestly going to keep most in this pile, but let's start with some obvious ones. I have a relatively new Bare Minerals foundation brush. I have a MAC powder brush. The Charlotte Tilbury foundation brush, another MAC brush. I actually used to really love this Tarte foundation brush, so I'll hold on to that. Oh, my Huda Tweezerman tweezers, definitely getting those. Yeah, so to be honest, most of the brushes in this pile are going to stay, and I don't feel guilty about that because I am getting rid of so many. Let's just check. Is this one shedding? I'll have to check this one when I wash it. This Urban Decay optical blurring brush used to be one of my absolute favorites for foundation, but then the one I had started shedding. And I know I replaced it, but I think it started shedding pretty soon after. Ooh, an Inglot blot. Some Inglot brushes. I really enjoy these. I almost said blush again. I don't necessarily love all of the shapes of these Morphe times Coca-Cola brushes, but I love Coca-Cola, so I'm allowed to be a little bit of a makeup goblin. And this big Tarte brush, and this big Urban Decay brush, and this big Makeup Forever brush. Oh, we'll keep the little Sephora BIB Rouge brush. That's a great one. I'll keep this Sephora blush brush mostly for the memories. Yeah, honestly, I'm going to be keeping most of these. This Chanel brush, I'm just going to put in the garbage. That's useless. I don't know. I enjoy It Cosmetics. These are cute. I like their foundation brush. Urban Decay Naked brush. We'll keep that one. Let's actually go through and pick out the Urban Decay Naked brushes. So Naked 3, Naked Heat, Naked Cherry, Original Naked, Naked Basics, Naked 2, Naked 2. Yeah, I really enjoyed the brushes that came with the Urban Decay palette, so we're going to keep all of those. Keep the It Cosmetics one. I missed this one. So most of these brushes are going to need to be cleaned up. This used to be my go-to brush from Sephora for eyeshadow. Got another Naked. This is Naked Smoky. This little brush from MAC is actually useful for travel. Because I'd like them all to be in clean, usable condition. But I'm feeling pretty good because I used to have 3 of these full and now I have 1. So these ones, we'll get rid of these ones. And what I'm going to do is actually use this as a little divider. It'll be really easy for me to sort these after because they're by brand. So yeah, we're getting rid of everything in here. These ones I'm washing up tonight. We're getting rid of these ones. And we're getting rid of all of these ones, which I'm washing up tonight. So I basically feel, I don't exactly have a count, but I feel like I've gotten rid of about, I'd say about 2/3, half to 2/3 of the brushes in my overflow collection. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm excited to get these ones rehomed. And like I said, honestly, so just so you know my process on how I've been decluttering my brushes. So what I've honestly just done is I used to have them all out in coffee mugs on my vanity. And as I would do my makeup, if there's a brush that I wasn't obsessed with, I would just move it into the bin. And yeah, and anyways, and then the bins just got moved with me as I moved houses. And now we are here. So I'm really excited about the progress we made. I think that I've done a great job decluttering. If you don't know me or aren't familiar with my channel, you might not know this, but I definitely have makeup hoarder tendencies and I find it really hard to get rid of things and throw things out. But I'm really happy with this progress. I'm going to start by cleaning up some brushes so they can go to their new homes. Thank you so much for joining me. I am working on, I don't want to quite call it a declutter series, but I am definitely working on going through my collection in a thoughtful way. So there are a few more declutters I have planned. But I'm feeling really good about this one. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you love high-end luxury makeup and you love makeup and makeup brushes and handbags and reviews and all of that good stuff, then subscribe because I've got some really fun content planned for the new year. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!